Okay. Let me know when you guys are all opened up Future 60. Guys all there? Thumbs up, thumbs up. No? Alright.
On the screen, a big plane.
Big plane?
Yeah.
Alright, that's good. Wait. Alright. How do I hide this? I've forgotten how to hide this. Alright, there you go. Take this.
Let me see. My car. Yeah, 40 pounds. Well, yeah, Gracie, you wanna say anything funny? Yash, sorry, we need your. I think it's on Josh.
Yeah.
I can help anyone who needs help.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would put it in full screen. You guys know what you're making today?
Oh.
Yes.
No?
You show it. There's that
We're
one.
making classes.
Does anyone know what this is?
Yeah.
This is actually a case, an electronics case for a PCB. So during the soldering workshop, what normally happens is we get a PCB kit commissioned for you guys to solder together. PCB goes right on top. The battery, 9-volt battery, goes in here, and then it's just a little nice holder for your electronics kit. So this I made in about 20 minutes because I usually design these things. But we're going through the whole design concept, build, manufacture procedure that goes from like CAD idea to reality. So I think like this kind of workshop is really cool. At least you making this thing, and if you're coming to any of the other Hyperloop workshops, you'll see it and you'll go, "Hey, I know how to make that." So yeah.
Bruh. Okay.
All right, have fun, Josh.
Alright, thank you, thank you.
All right. We're all good? All ready? All set? Excited?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna make this today. Let's start off with measuring. One measure this right now. All right. There you go. An caliper. Let's do the first. So,
No, it, like,
the full is.
this or this.
That's a highlight.
So this.
So the way that we're gonna approach this, right? So yeah, I'd say if you approach this one is a subtractive method. So we're gonna make the first the full rectangular prism first, and then subtract things out of it to make the part. All right,
Like about 8 inches.
8 inches.
Yeah. That's like 9. Yeah.
Well, 8 inches for a little. You want to inches or no? Let's do this. I could bring a 3.7 years. Let me write them down. You're
Nice. Let's have a bit of a notepad real quick. Alright. So we know the width is 3.25 inches, 3.25 inches, I think. We're gonna, I'm just gonna measure as well.
Josh, I need more time to use it. For the counts. Yeah.
So, okay.
Right, do it kind of, room. I mean, calipers are like an engineer's best friend. I'm just gonna fill in for Yash while he's dealing with SolidWorks stuff out here. It's kind of like a ruler, but much fancier. You can measure stuff with it. So, like, let's say I wanted to measure the distance between these 2 points because I wanted to replicate this case. I take my calipers at the 0 position, because the calipers move left to right like this, and the wider these two distances are, it shows you what that distance is on the screen. So you want to make sure that your calipers are all the way together. You press this button here that says 0. You extend it using the little rotating thing over here. You never want to do this manually by hand because that breaks the caliper. Open wider than what you need it to be. Stick it in, close it, and just take out the item. And it says here that this distance is about 0.344 inches. So if you're using millimeters, all you need to do is modify the units, and it says that it is 8.74 millimeters. Now, the cool thing about caliper is it's not just used for one mode. You can also measure the distance between gaps. For example, this apparatus up here is actually used to measure things in between objects. So for example, the distance between the top and bottom here is going to be about 16 millimeters. And I can just measure that by putting this measurement tool in like this. And for example, I can do it for this gap too. In case you want to find out, let's say you're building a, let's say arm for an airplane and you want to know where the attachments are, then you would probably need to measure the body before designing the wing and vice versa. So that's the second way you can measure using a caliper. The third way is using this down here. Because what you can do with this is, let's say, measure the depth of objects. So all you do is you can extend this downwards. Let's say I want to measure how deep this battery cage is, and then just plunk it in. And the part where it resides like that and doesn't go down any further is the measurements. And so the depth of this is around 16.67 millimeters. So in approximately 3 minutes, you now know how to use a caliper in 3 different ways. Thank you. There you go. Okay, we're back to you, Yash. Okay. What's the measure of the width here?
Got it.
Got it? It's up here.
Alright.
Question.
Yes.
You're recording this, right?
Yeah.
If you want to post this on the,
Yeah.
I don't know how to.
Yeah.
Yeah, do this. You gotta hold this. It's like that.
Maybe when more.
Just hold it and hold it. Give me that. Give me that. I have to length of 3.7 inches or so. Measure that.
7 millimeters.
70 millimeters. Let's do inches. So give me
Convert this from
2.7. What? 2.7.
probably 2.75.
All right, 2.75 inches. Okay. All right. All right, one last one. What's the height?
7.
7. Height?
Inches? 7
inches.
Oh, wait, that? Oh.
What inch? What inch? What's the height? What is it? You got it. I heard it. Okay. Give the height. The more than Nice. 1.2. All right. We'll put that up there. All right. Our height is 1.2. Just all right. We're gonna use this for a reference to make our first model. Our first part of our model, okay? So let's start this off with what do we usually start off our models with? We start off with our sketch. So up here, right here is our create sketch button. We click on it and we choose a plane. All right, so we have our front plane, our side plane, and our top plane. All right. Since we know the 3 dimensions are length, our width, and our height. Huh? Okay. So create sketch up here in the under the solid tab. Create sketch. Click on it. Then we'll choose a plane. All right. So we'll choose the top plane. All right. And it should bring you out here. Let me know if you're all here. Yes.
So is it standard to have it in like inches and feet, or is it standard to have it in like metric?
Either or, I use metric most of the time, but I'm gonna use inches here just because I'm supposed to keep everybody, same page. But it really depends on what you're doing and how you comfortable you are with that measurement system. Right? Because most of the stuff that I do at least is more, if I'm doing a project, I want to make sure that the measurement system is all the same with everybody, right? But I'm doing like my own personal one, I'll use whatever unit I want to use, because I know what I mean. All right.
I can't hear you. Speak a little louder. I can't hear you.
Okay.
Also,
All right. Anybody need help? Are we all good? Are we all here? Okay. So this is a rectangle. We're gonna use the rectangle tool. So you see this right here is a 2-point rectangle button right here. I don't usually use the 2-point rectangle button. What I go is under the create tab, rectangle right here. And you see that center rectangle? So we're gonna click on center rectangle. Center rectangle. So your first point you're gonna make is gonna be on the origin or the circle right here. That's gonna be your center. Then you can expand this rectangle to whatever you want to make it. All right. And as you see, my default units are millimeters because you can see that on my screen right here. But you can easily convert from one system to another just by naming it. So our length here is 3.7 inches. So on this bottom one, it's already highlighted for me. I'll put 3.7 space IN for inches. All right. Then I'll press tab. Tab will change it to the height, the width now. All right. Our width is 2.75 inches. I will type in 2.75 space IN for inches and enter. And that will give me a rectangle that should be 3.7 inches by 2.75 inches. It's in millimeters, so disregard those numbers, but yes. Are you guys all in inches or
how do I go to the other side? 2009.
so this is all in millimeters. So let me actually switch this so that you guys don't get confused. I don't want to what's that? Differences. Huh? D is dimension in Fusion. All right. So I will put it so that's in inches. Okay. All right. So if I type this now. So let me I'll recreate this right now just so you guys can do it. So again, just to reiterate, create sketch, top plane, rectangle, center rectangle. Then we're gonna do this in inches. So 3.7 inches by 2.75 inches.
I put the one on the top, but the one on the bottom, at the side, it doesn't let me.
So what you want to do is when you first make it, you press the tab button to change it. If you already made it, right? You can do is you press this button right here, sketch dimension.
Oh,
You can press the D key on your computer to also do it. When you use dimension, you can press at the top and bottom, and then you can label it. All right. So let's say if this dimension was not there, I can go to press D on my keyboard or press the sketch dimension button right here. I can press the top and the bottom, and then I can name it right here, 2.75 inches, press enter, and there. All right. So are we all here? Are all good? Okay. So now you're gonna finish the sketch. Right. Then return you back to the 3D modeling mode. And here we can choose extrude. Right. So we'll put the extrude button. And so our height is 1.2 inches. So we can put that right here in the distance, 1.2. My preference is to put the origin in the center of the entire part. Right. So here I will choose the this direction from one side to symmetric, and then change this to whole length. That way, when I make something, it'll be in the center. Does that make sense? All right. And then just press OK, and that will create your first rectangular prism. Are we all? Let me know when you're all here.
How much did you shoot by?
1.2 inches.
So one.
And this one?
Let me know if I went too fast or if anyone needs any help. We're all good?
Yeah, there you go. All right,
Good?
And then, okay.
All right. All right. Now let's look at the hole. All right. I'll do this right here. So let's measure these inside holes. Who wants to measure the inside holes? Is it? Okay. So with the inside holes, you want to use this side right here. Right? So I want you to measure this right now. Okay. Yeah. The other way. Yeah, maybe bigger until it stops, and then that way. Yeah, so you take it out and then you look at it. And, all right. If there's 0.734, make sure. All right. So our inside gap right here on the screen is 0.75 by the height, on the height right here, which is 0.7. So, yeah. Let's do that right now. So, let's create a new sketch. We're gonna go on the front right here. So, you can make a sketch on every flat plane or flat face that there is, okay? Make sure you have a flat plane, you can sketch on, you can sketch on it and create a new part or a modification. So on here, I'm gonna zoom the scroll wheel right here. And then here, we can use a 2-point rectangle because we don't know where the center is gonna be, right? So 2-point rectangle, we have two parts, the first left topmost corner and the bottom rightmost corner. And let me type the thing. So our hole is 0.75 by 0.7 inches is what our dimensions are. So we're gonna get the dimension tool right here. I'll go top and bottom, and that's our height. Our height is 0.7 inches. So set enter. We're gonna go right and left, down. This is 0.75 inches, enter. And that'll be our first corner. All right. But you see, the problem right now is we don't know where in space this one is. You can move it around everywhere we go. So we must dimension this according to the actual face itself, right? So the thickness of each pillar right here is about 0.4. So, and then the thickness of each plate down here is about 0.2. So we're gonna do that right here. We're gonna give ourselves a dimension right here from the right side to this right side of the face. Give it a 0.4 spacing. And then for the bottom two right here is gonna be a 0.2 spacing. And right there is gonna be our first side. All right. Did I go too fast? Are we all good?
No, I think.
Again? Okay.
Can you go back? How are you put this?
All right, we'll go back. So
So I.
we just made a square, yeah? Are we here? Are we here? We're not here. Are we here? Are we in like nothing right now or?
Yeah, just that.
Okay, so first you do is you get up here 2-point rectangle,
Yeah.
click on it, and you make a random length rectangle with 2 points, 2 corners. All right. Then dimension button right here. We'll go left side of the rectangle, right to the rectangle goes the top side. Our top side is 0.75 inches. Okay. And then our from top and bottom will give us the height. And that's 0.7 inches. Okay. And then for the bottom side right here, from bottom to bottom, that is 0.2. And then from the right to right, that is 0.4. All right. Yes.
So the square is slightly lower down than the shape.
I
think you have too many.
Yeah. So if you look at it a little bit, Where is?
So he's saying that the square
One is
0.7.
top is like 0.2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the bottom is a little thicker, it's almost 0.3. Actually, not 0.6, no, the top. The top is thicker at 0.3. And the bottom is about 0.24. I didn't actually add the 0.04, but if you add that right now, okay, about 0.25, let's say. There. That should be more better. So precision doesn't matter. So
It's 0.25.
Oh, right.
yeah,
Yash, this is symmetrical, right?
this is symmetrical, yes.
0.25 there. That means the bottom should also be 0.25.
Oh.
Yeah, and it is.
Right, now.
All right. Are we all here?
I'm all mentioned.
Are we all here?
Very good. And we want to mention this from the side, and this dimension is now 0.40. Generally, I think two ones, may drag it out to either C.
So first of all,
Yes.
Oh.
You guys need to change millimeters. Yeah. So you go to document settings and then back to the there's a document that you don't put that. Do it again. Or put the little symbol. Yeah. You change the millimeters. Where's your have like okay, sure. Not good and then yeah. Drop them in. Okay. Go to the end.
Question?
yeah.
How do you get the 0.40? Or how do you measure the 0.40?
So I measured it, so the thickness right here,
Alright.
the color. I measured it differently. Because technically when that color ends is when that when the color ends right here, then the square begins. So I just said how big that color is from the side, and I'll give you the thickness of that because you can find that under one
From the program, I'm kind of, it is just on the line, like,
It's one measure like those who can steps. Not too much. Very well. Without rate. And then it gets right of that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. I think Mag is gonna do that next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you're gonna do the simulation in the later or?
Actually, all of it. I didn't see you there. Next week is week.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So I think you gave me a last time.
yeah, I can,
When he's in charge of the curriculum next week.
okay, perfect. All right, thank you.
Yes. All right. So, okay. All right, okay.
So now that we're here, we're gonna cut. All right. So finish sketch and then cut. Finish the sketch. It was up here in the top right corner, in the green check mark. Okay.
Finish the sketch.
Yeah.
Okay,
Finish
got
sketch. Extrude. Click on the rectangle you just made. You can click on under operation, click cut, and then right here, operation right here, click cut, and then extent type, press 2 or press all.
Josh, do you have notes on wall dimensions are?
Oh, except for the 0.2, the size, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
So 0.25 is the height, and then 0.4 is the width.
Okay, can you just show that? And then type like extrude or something to correct.
Okay, I'll do.
So I know what the other ones are.
Okay, this was
So
for whole.
your millimeter graph. So go ahead and go to document settings and drop down many assignments here. Yeah. Oops. Drop down.
Okay,
Go
I don't have that option list that you have right there.
where?
Just for a minute.
You know, the one that put target info, and that's in the menu or in the square.
This?
So, that works, that one, you know, the flip and the side.
This right here?
Uh-huh.
Oh, actually,
What do you have?
okay.
I have.
Um, You're gonna go to dimension.
Right. They have everything except that one.
Base.
You have, like, you have like distance and then press sketch.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so. Make sure you press flip, after you press all.
Okay.
So what all does, all will extrude it to throughout the entire object. Alright, but if you don't flip it, it'll be like, I don't have any place to go, there's nothing else out there. And then if you click it again, it'll go to the actual object.
How can I see it like that? Because I see it in the front, but I wanna see it like.
So up here is the view cube right here.
Oh.
Press the home on the view cube.
Now, we're gonna go to this cube here.
Alright, and then press OK, and you should have your first hole.
Good, so now we get this.
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, if you're are we all here?
So.
Okay. Everyone else good? Or I'll wait a little bit. I'll wait a little bit.
It has the same thing for the other side.
So I'll show you what we can do on the side. But let's first make one side. Okay.
Now this little thing is
And this program,
0.75 inches, is a length, right?
it's a work,
0.75 is length, 0.7 is the height, and the position is X position is the Y position. Yeah.
and
the-
this program is connected to this thing.
Not connected, but you can use it for 3D printing.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you all the stuff if you want to learn.
From the left edge to the right edge.
How are we doing? Good? Good? Alright, I'm gonna move on. Next step is to create the side right here, this larger circle right here. Does anyone wanna measure this?
Dimension the distance from the top.
I have 0.2. You need the like, I'll get them all to my hand.
Okay, 0.5.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, wait,
But
no.
the next was, there's like.
There's a whole- Oh,
Anything else or? We're good. I'll just like use this right here.
Yeah.
It's here they said I'm like one break your for color and they are one point is getting plans are travel in a direction but on the high speeds. And they say fire the colors. That's the one thing. I think you guys were talking about it. I don't want it. Oh, they're like, it was fun for itself. Yeah. All right. All the melting down lines. I don't know why.
Alright, so our side profile, our side rectangle right here. I'm gonna put it right here. So side hole. That one is 1.96 inches by 0.66 inches. Alright, remember all these is because we're actually manually modeling or measuring this. There are gonna be some slight errors or some tolerances we gotta figure out. We're gonna see like how you pointed out if it was like symmetric or not. Alright, so that's our hole. Let's make that in real life as well or in CAD. Create the new sketch on this side this time. And then here we can use a center rectangle over here. So because it is centered, so we will use rectangle, center point, and out like that. Alright, let's dimension the height. Oops. Let's dimension the height up here to be 0.66. Let's dimension the width to be 1.96. All right. And then same thing, finish the sketch. But this time we'll do is when you extrude and cut this one, we won't go all the way. We're just gonna go up until the space right here. So we can choose this to be a cut and change this to to object, and that will basically put the extrusion until it meets another face or another object. So for us, it'll be this space right here. So press OK, and look at that. Now we have that one side there. All right, yes. Oh, sorry.
Just keep going.
All right. Everybody else, let me know if you do that. Go down. Bless you.
Oh, wait, no, the side must be right. It's 0. See, you wanna use extrude to make our mouth, not the whole.
Yeah. So the whole function itself is to create screw holes, the threaded hole or circular.
Dimensions for center made it out.
So the center?
Yeah.
So it's just I use the origin. So
Okay, so when you have a situation like this, you want to center.
you want me to just put,
Did you go through the shape back there? If you put this pull up you just made, if you go all the way through.
No, I did not. So for this one, let me show you. If you right click your extrusion down here, you can edit it and you can redo anything. So here I chose was to object. So what this does is it'll go to a face I select. And I set that face over here. So tell just stop at that face.
And then we're just, this entire thing, divide by two.
Okay. All right.
Then that'll mention it perfectly.
Oh my God.
And then
So I can click on it,
create this might.
rectangle, center rectangle.
So, yeah.
Space it, okay,
And let's see.
Yeah, on the origin. So if you did what I did, which was basically use origin as your midpoint of the entire object, you should feel it align it exactly at the center. If you did it, you can also use it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. And then I have. And I have.
We're gonna select this guy first.
And then I.
Alright, and now double click extrude off.
Right here?
And then. Okay. Alright, then you can. We're gonna do. And we're gonna select.
Right here? Right here. Oh, okay. Okay. And
Yeah. Yeah. Like, fine, you good?
No, I don't have to create my environment.
No, okay.
That's, no, I'm good, yeah, I'm good. I didn't know that you had to like. Yeah, he didn't have it so that like, so we made the right thing with extrude. Top, now it's on top.
That's still fine. Yeah, I mean, it's still growing. Yeah, but all that's, you just gotta find the standard. But it'll be okay. Okay, we're good? We're good, okay. Alright, you're good? Alright.
So now we're gonna do some voodoo magic. All right, we're gonna mirror what we just did on the other side without having to actually mirror any or actually doing it ourselves. Okay. So what we're gonna go under create. Yeah, create tab. Here, there's a pattern button right here. Pattern. Or not pattern. Sorry. Under the pattern is the mirror. Sorry, mirror. So if we click mirror, it's gonna be like, okay, what objects and what plane? So the objects you want to do is just the holes that we did, right? So first on the object type, make it into features. So yeah, so bodies is like a whole body, like what we just did is one body right here. Faces will just be actual faces you want to mimic. Features is what type of like edits we're doing to the face. Okay. So features, and then you can click on the fillet. So this extrusion right here, click on it, right here. Click on this one right here as well. Still have two extrusions are selected. All right. And then your mirror plane. Okay. If you followed through with what I did with the center, again, centering everything around the origin, this is very simple. You just click on this plane right here, and it will make it on the other side. Right. So I'll go do it again. Okay. So
But it didn't, on top of it, I don't know why.
so we'll go again. So create mirror.
How do I do?
You can control Z. Yeah. So object type to features. Click on your features being this extrusion down here and this one down here. This will be your two main extrusions. And then click on your plane being, if you look on the origin, it will be your YZ plane. Again, I use the origin a lot, so that's just how I model, bro. Okay,
I'm here.
and then press OK. Anyone need any help?
Okay, so we're gonna make it. You're gonna make it, this should be the way to do it.
No, the mid plane. Okay,
You're gonna put on this side,
This side?
you're gonna rotate you, and then just.
so that's called the mirror function, right? So let me help you.
Now, your thing's not moving or in the concept, but he's directly by the middle. But you can do that like that. You're gonna still have to work it. You're gonna do that how you're. But you're going to, you're going to use them with that drag back.
Okay.
You can like find this.
All the way down to here. Yeah, you can go back. So it's like.
And what about the other?
We're gonna walk in there, we're gonna see what. I'm gonna see. Click on.
Hold on, get back to that view.
What's going on?
Right here.
Oh, yeah. And then you
This one. And this one.
So right now you see the preview, it's only going to mirror this side. I'm gonna mirror the thing forward.
That's it.
Inside some color.
And then from there, it also where you put the bottom of the hole.
So then you like work.
You're gonna, we're thinking one of it, so it's. And then you select clean. And
So see how it
first you select something. You're dragging too far.
Okay.
Why?
Good.
Okay, click the side plane.
Yeah, what kind of mirror do you do?
normal mirror.
Like, no, like features.
Don't click
Feature.
What type of features?
Extra two extrusions.
Can you have a video?
Huh?
Can I see your mirror function?
Yeah.
Can you pre-select the objects real quick?
Okay. I'll okay. Yeah. I'll
Just
do
look, just look X on the objects. Let me see how you did that.
Look. Okay. So again, mirror, right? Features,
Yeah.
objects. Click this and click this. Mirror plane. And this.
Yeah, it's easier to.
So one,
What?
is it not in the middle? Is it how I rotate it? It's like, you have to click on the flip.
I'm running her do too.
And I will. Is it inside of the thing? Try and zoom in.
Undo your selection.
No, like that, right? Yeah, like that.
Wait, what do you, how do you control? What, you don't control?
You know how controls very.
He doesn't auto select?
If it doesn't work, then you can control it.
Okay, alright, problem solved. Alright,
So now I delete this plane right here.
You can hide it in construction.
so basically we get, click on it.
All right.
Not just the edge.
Are we good? We good? Are we good?
Are we done? Press B.
Okay,
Boy.
now let's create the top. All right, this little indent for the PCB itself.
All right.
I'll do this one myself. The step height being about 0.15. All right, let's go and create a sketch on the very top. Right there. And then we'll create right here.
So let's create a rectangle, okay?
Yeah. So this rectangle is going to be 0.15 inch depth. It's gonna be the top. Up. Okay. Now, see, you could make a rectangle like this, dimension it out, make a thickness and everything. Or what we can do is just measure how thick this offset right here is, and just offset the big rectangle into the smaller one. So, if I just measure this top one right here, the thickness being 0.25, right? With this thickness right around here, the rim. Let's go over here real quick. What we can do is actually under create, press project right here. Click on the rectangle and press OK. So you have your rectangle right there. And then offset this rectangle down by negative 0.25 inches.
So you put it on top.
Yeah, so you can play on top.
Yeah, whoa, wait.
So I went too fast. So let me go back again. Let me go back again. So we're here, right? At the top plane.
Yeah.
So top, right? The first thing we'll do is project this top rectangle so it's part of our sketch, right? So that's underneath the create tab. Go to project.
Did you get rid of your drawing?
Yeah, I got rid of everything right now.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, hold on.
so we're of a clean slate right here, okay?
How are you able to just delete rectangle?
I control Z.
Fire drew.
I control Z.
Undid.
Yeah. So we're here, right? So create, project, / include, project. Project will do is it'll create, so whatever face or feature that you click on, it will bring that up and project it to your sketch, right? So
Just project within project? Yeah.
yeah, project, and then press OK.
So I need, okay, I didn't understand.
Again, okay. So we're here, create, project / include, and then project. Or the letter P on your keyboard. And then click on your face, press OK, and you see it's a little rectangle box, bounding box on the outside, okay? Now, press this button right here. It's called the offset. Click on offset, click on the rectangle, and then we're gonna type in negative 0.25. So that'll do is it'll offset it down into itself by a 0.25 inch offset. Okay. Let me just put it in here. 0.25 inch offset. So we have it all documented. All right. And that's just, yep, finish the sketch. Extrude this in, the inner one, and go down by 0.15 in depth. So we're gonna click on operation, make it cut, and then we're gonna put a distance of 0.15. Oops. 0.15, but negative because it's going to need to go down. Okay.
And then really, it doesn't do the same distance, one.
So the one side distance, negative 1.15 inches. Operation is cut.
The distances, where I can put the dimensions, it doesn't show it.
Maybe I can share this one and have this.
Oh, because I have to do the object.
Click on. No, I'm gonna click on. Oh, did I click on your?
Oh,
That's it. Karwal here?
right there. How much you put?
Five. Negative 0.15. Right here.
1.5.
Negative 0.15.
Negative.
0.15 inches in depth.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Then, okay.
all right. So now, okay, let's create the inner battery holder now. That little hole. That's gonna be in the back. So we'll move the orientation to the back by its cube. So this inside is gonna be 1.03 by 0.75.
Why does it look different? Mine looks like with the lines.
That's in the view. So if you go here to display, which is down here, see grid and snap, turn off grid settings probably, or not, sorry, in grid display. Display here. And then you can look at environment. Where did it go? It should be in here somewhere. Should be good, but yeah, it helps like keep everything in check. Not look at, but it should be in here somewhere. I forgot where though. It's been a while. Ground plane, maybe. But yeah, it's somewhere in there. We'll look at it in a bit, but it's good to have also as for reference. All right, let me put that down first. Okay, so the battery holder, that one was at 1.03 inches in width by 0.75 inches in depth and height. All right, and then our depth was so. That being about 2.25 inches in depth. Okay. Let me make this right. All right, those are our dimensions for our battery holder. So let's do that. So again, create a sketch. Let's go down right here. And then we will create a rectangle. We will dimension this one to be about 1.03 in width. And then in height, it's going to be 0.75. And here we want to make it centered, right? So we can actually use these right here to kind of center it by opening up a line. And let's find the midpoint. So the midpoint of this line right here is right here. So that triangle that pops up next to the X, that's the midpoint of that line. So we'll click on it, kind of go across to the other side, and then same for the top. So search around along the top and then go straight down. So that will help you find exactly where the center of your part is, or where you want to center it, in case your object is not centered on the origin like mine is. And then you can click on click on both of these lines. So click and control click on both. And then press X to make it into a construction line. So click on this line, control click on the other line, press X, and it'll turn to dashed lines, which are for references for you. So these lines will not show up in your actual extrusions or anything. They're just there for you to refer to.
I missed that very last part.
Like,
Both lines.
Press X. Yeah, that should change it to all dashed lines. Okay.
Right.
So now what we can do is actually click on, let's say, click on your line right here. And then click on this one here. Let me see. Okay. So up here are your constraints. You can use these to help you properly constrain your sketch. So here, if I press the midpoint button, when I press control click the construction line here, control click the other top line right here, and then press midpoint, it will midpoint it exactly to the midpoint. So the two midpoints will become coincident or together. I can't move this now, but it's also in the wrong place. I don't want this right here. So control Z. That's just for you to watch. Okay. So what we'll do is we're gonna first make these two what's the center? I'm gonna create a point and then find the midpoint of that's the point. The midpoint here. So I found the midpoint of this top one right here by using a point, and then I'm gonna click on this point, control click the line, and then make them coincident, which makes that point onto that line.
Can I ask?
Wait, can I go back?
Yeah.
You said.
Yeah, since I put the midpoint tool, shifted my thing all.
So controls though, that was for you to see. I was for you to see like the midpoint tool will make the two midpoints together into one midpoint. Right? Yeah.
Where again, like the center, the rectangle, you don't know where to, square?
So like this, right here.
Okay.
So yeah, so we first made these two lines. Did you make these two lines already? The construction line, these ones?
No, I didn't, I don't have.
Okay, so let's go back there real quick. Okay, so we have this right here right now, right?
No, actually, I don't have the center. I have just a rectangle, but I don't know center. I just have it like this. Like, in fact, it needs to be center in.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing right now.
Oh, okay,
So, thing is, mine, since I modeled mine using the center of the entire, the origin right here as my center, it makes my life easier, because that's how I model. I model with the center of the origin of this to my actual model itself, so I can easily mirror everything and refer to it. But in case you don't have it centered, so what we'll do is, there's a few ways of centering it, right? So if you have a 2-point rectangle like this, you have to find the centers of everything first, right? So our first step is going to create a line. So line, and then we're going to look around to see where the center of this line is. So this vertical line, when you see this triangle, that is the midpoint. That's the midpoint symbol. So we're going to click on that and go straight across. Right? Your line might not look construction, so we'll move that. So, and then same thing on the top, line tool again, find the midpoint, there it is right there, and then just go straight down. And that'll give you two solid lines to kind of triangulate where the center of your part is, right? So then we're gonna click on this line right here, control click the other line. So if you have both lines selected, then press the X button to change it to construction. This way, it won't interfere with your part. Did I go too fast or are we all good? Okay, so are we all here? Huh?
I'm sorry.
So are you here? Are you here? So click on one of the lines and then press the control button on your keyboard. Hold it and control, and then click on the other line. So you have two selected right now, and then press the X button, the X key on your keyboard.
X.
Yeah, X. And they should change it to construction.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, are we all here? Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the midpoint of our rectangle right here, because it's random right now, right? So we're gonna press create and click on point. So point, yeah, point. So that's point, that is the point anywhere we want. So again, we're gonna go along this first top line and find the point where it's midpoint, right there. Click on it. And same for one of the sides, same thing. Search along it, find the midpoint, which is around here. It's not actually on the line, as you can see. It's like a little off, right? And now you can do is press the midpoint right there. Control click again in the vertical construction line. And then press this right here, the coincident constraint. This one will put the point onto the line. So I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna click on this button and it's gonna snap it, the midpoint, onto the actual line. Okay, is that good? Are we good?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna control Z
I
then.
got also a tool with it. I mean, once, I placed both my points, once select the tool.
Oh, escape. Yeah, escape is very useful.
Wait, hold on, did you go back to where like you added a line across?
Here or here?
Like.
Here?
Yeah. If you accidentally finish a sketch, is there a way to go back?
Yeah. Yeah. So on the bottom right here on the timeline, right click one and you can edit sketch. Right click one of the sketches you need to click on and then right click and edit sketch and you can go back to it. Your question with the line?
I right click the sketch and I only get create selection set, delete, find in browser, and find in window. You already have. Oh, right, there you go. I would have added it.
So with the line, again, I'm gonna do it one more time, okay? The line, get a line tool. You search along the line that you need to refer to. And we find that midpoint's right there with the triangle icon. We're gonna click on it. So
Oh, I get it.
I'm gonna go back to this real quick. Let's keep going forward.
Yeah, there's,
For me, I guess that is.
We're doing something.
Huh?
No, never mind, like,
Okay.
everything like, meeting,
So I'm gonna go back to the point. Points right here, points right here.
so the line, right, give the line.
Yeah,
And then
you should get this.
why is it like that?
So, that one is for, drag your down.
Why is it that way in everyone? Can you do it line?
That one.
So right here, it's right here or like right here, right?
Right. You gotta go right there. Are we gonna use that next sketch?
And then the
Go
same.
back to the other.
And then line again.
Yeah, but except what is what I use the external side, so mine is mine. No, it's from out here. And down here. Cause my reference point is this entire,
That's
yeah, so I want the entire thing. Okay.
So I highlighted that link and then I put my utility and then I go
Yeah, the coincident right here, the coincident constraint. Coincident.
Yeah. Yes, I click on it, but it doesn't move to the right.
You gotta first click on the points, and you gotta click on the point and the line as well.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. Okay. Then point five. I'll put that there. Okay. So now are we here? Are we here? All right. We're gonna sketch. And then we're gonna extrude this one into itself by, we're gonna cut it and we're gonna choose negative 2.5. There. Negative 2.5.
That just all the way through.
Yep. Well, not all it's not all the way through, it's partially through. It shouldn't pop on the other side.
That's so like the battery didn't.
Yeah.
slide in there.
So the battery slide's in there now. See how like one space that's completely blank? and one side has a hole in it. Okay.
You're gonna go.
Why is it that?
Look at deep. It's 2.5 inches.
Let me ask, how to add this? Yeah. Right,
Yeah. I'll go to you.
Very good. Now you're gonna put purple and simple held. And then the line. Okay, now is that out of it. Now I do, I look at the point. James Gash. Thank you. Those solid lines, but you might need to get those. So then go back to the sketch. Click both those lines. The line. Yeah. Click both of the line. Yeah. And then click the line. Yeah. And then same thing. Not the exact center, but anywhere around. People need help with that. But all along. Oh yeah. I am sit here with you.
Instead of talking in the hallway.
Don't take X-ray. It opens slightly out. By.
Why is it RGS?
Don't worry about it.
We're not GCS. What? Ground control system sounds worse than robotics control system?
Yeah. RUCS? Okay.
Alright.
I think you have students leaving.
Are you leaving? Alright, thank you guys for coming. Update you on the IKEA case though.
Oh, what?
Update you on the IKEA case.
Oh, for sure.
This is Diamond Bar? Yeah, dude. This should make you look at the IKEA case. Alright. Alright, we're all here. Yes? Good?
Yeah.
Alright, time for the screw holes. Okay, Kai. Yes, Kai, let's go.
I don't know how to do.
It's interesting, fine.
I don't know how to do fusion.
Rosa.
Okay,
I'm gonna help. Okay, we're gonna make the screw holes now. So these screws that we use here are M2.5 by 3.56 for the top ones. Okay. So but do note the PCB is 2 millimeters, it's all millimeters, right? The PCB that goes on top of this is about 2 millimeters thick. So the whole itself is gonna be 2.5 by 4.
I can't see from here with this screw.
Yeah, there's screw holes in each corner. It's kind of hard to see. Huh?
Yeah, it's just dark if you.
I just taught this one, Chris. It is, so I created this right here, the cutout here.
Okay.
So that's gonna be battery holder.
Okay.
This is its current dimensions, length, width, height. Yep. Okay, so these holes exist on the top one, so for the top plane. So let's create a sketch on the top plane. Actually, yeah, we can put 4 points. We're gonna put points for this one. So use the point tool and just put 1 point here in this top corner right here. And another one in the bottom corner. And we can symmetry later on. Huh? So put a point. So use a point tool, top left corner, bottom left corner. We're gonna measure exactly how where it's gonna be. So it's being 0.25. Well, 0.1.
I already know where this is.
So we're gonna do it now. I'm gonna measure right now. So
Oh, you just place them randomly.
yeah, let's pick the randomly put them out there.
And then distance is 2.5.
They're about 0.19. Or they're about 1.875. Let's put that. Okay. So let's go the dimension. Dimension this from the top line to the point. 0.1875. Enter. And it's 1875.
Mine is 875.
Yes, and then same for the side as well. Yes. All right, let me do that real quick. 1875. So this is the dimension right there.
You know,
This, right?
yes,
Okay.
how fast do you think?
And then I want to put there, the top one, this one,
In the borders, right?
and what if you do this?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's all right. And you're gonna, I'm gonna point to the solve that. Okay. Chris, yeah, raining outside? What's going on? It says it's raining, it's raining, but I can't tell.
Oh well, we'll see afterwards. All right. I want to finish before we leave. Okay. So
I don't know.
Okay, create it as full and create, go create.
yeah, but we'll do it after I finish. So on the bottom as well, same thing. So here, 0.1875, enter, and then same for the side. Oops. There we go. 0.1875, enter that one. All right. And then finish the sketch. All right. You have these two dots. All right. Now I can use the whole tool. The whole tool here, we first choose our points. First points here, second points here, bless you. Okay. And then we gotta choose our distance and how big our hole is. So our hole, so our diameter is 2.5 millimeters. So we'll put that in there, 2.5 millimeters. Right? Okay, and then our taper angle should be the same. Our height, however, is going to be about 4 millimeters. The only reason I'm converting to millimeter now is because we have a set height of each or depth of each screw. All right. In your actual 3D modeling, when you want to 3D print this out, you probably want to give it a little bit more tolerance. So this 2.5 millimeter right here is exactly about the width of that screw. That's the screw head. So you want to make it into like maybe 2.55 or 2.6 about, just to give that the tolerance. So the thing when it shrinks, it won't cause interference with the screw.
So you went 2.5.
So we're gonna put 2.52 actually 2.2. Depending on how your 3D printer is, 2.52. All right. You have different types of holes as well. Ours is also gonna be threaded, so we're gonna put a tapped hole. So that way, there's actually screw heads in or the screw pitch. Yeah. All right. Okay, and that should, when that's good, press OK. And now we will have screws with actually screw holes with actually, little thread in them as well.
Are we ever gonna
Don't.
have to like know how far away those threads are supposed to be, or do all screws just kind of follow generally?
There are different threads for different screws. You can look online for like say what kind of screw you have and what the pitch is. So what that's called is the thread pitch. It's basically how many turns per a certain distance. Yes.
Yeah, you should have done the
screws. Well, that would have added more time, bro. Okay.
You took it out of the lecture.
I was in the lecture, but I took it out. I was like, didn't have time for that. But I guess you have time for that. But yeah, if you do want to learn more, I will put those slides up as well. It's part of our season 4 slides as well. You can see them on our previous last semester's slides.
By the way, if you're 3D printing this, threads won't really matter because 3D printing is not precise enough to print those tiny screws. But if you're making this out of metal, for example, those are going to have to be very exact.
Or injection molding as well. When you send off injection molding, you want to make sure those dimensions are correct.
Yeah, so like, say we printed this out and you want to put actual screws in it.
Yeah.
Is that hole like, is it the exact size of the screw? So like, or is it slightly smaller than the screw set?
You'd want to do a little bit smaller.
If you use a tool, it's going to be automatically slightly smaller than you want it to be. That way, when you're screwing it in, it's kind of like friction pressing it inside of the actual actual plastic. But what you can do is you can use a soldering iron and these special like brass molds, press it in to get like an exact screw fit. That's also a technique if you don't want to use them. Because if you just printed out these holes and put a screw inside of it, after some time, be like 2 years, 3 years, it's gonna fall out. But if you put like metal inside of it using a soldering iron, it's probably gonna be different work.
If you look down here, you can also see like when you put the tapped hole, you can actually choose what type of screw. So if you want to see the actual type of screw that we have here, it's called an M2.5. You can go down to isometric and we can choose, let's see,
Asymmetric.
not isometric, sorry, yeah, asymmetric. Oops. And then choose our size to be 2.5 millimeters. So M2.5 by 0.45.
I usually go with 0.35 and Yash use it too if you're printing it because it
Right.
allows more tolerance to be screwed in. If Yash, if you go
Here.
to designation. it's M2.5.
Ah,
If
okay.
you switch between them, you'll notice that the thread hole size diameter actually changed by a slight amount.
But yeah, so just, you can also just choose this and that'll give you your screw hole. Press,
Make sure you press model.
press
or else
model,
It's not gonna.
not gonna
it's
model
make
it.
threads.
Yo. Okay. Model. There. All right, look at those nice screws. Okay, now right here. All right, here. Yeah, give me a minute, okay? Give me a minute. All right, down here. All right, are y'all good to go? Okay, now we can also just mirror this across, just like before. So create mirror, then choose your feature being the hole, and then mirror plane being your mirror plane that you originally used that first time. Either it can be the origin planes or your mid plane that you first used, okay? I use the origin plane because, again, mine's based off of the origin. If you have your own mid plane that you made before, just click on that one, okay? And then so we'll click on that one and we'll make all 4 holes. Thank you, thank you. So, now over here. Now it's time to sort of almost be efficient. We're gonna put, so you now have all cylinders, right? All circles, but we have all squares, right? It's not really good for,
I got
if you're holding it, it's gonna hurt you. So we're gonna fill out all the corners to make sure that they're all nice and round.
Right, what are the dimensions for the screw holes?
M2.5 by
Like,
4.
I know that, but like, more than point off from the size of the thing.
Oh, it was like 0.1875.
Oh, that, yeah, 0.875. So, all right, so now we're gonna do is press fillet out here, fillet right here. And now we can choose what to fillet. So if you see your basic one will be around about 0.125 inch radius fillets. So say click on this outside right here, outside edge right here. Let's click on all the outside edges. So go around and click on the outside edges, all 4 corners. Put 0.125 and see what happens. All right. So see, it's kind of nice. Okay. And then you can also click on the, okay. And then add a new selection set as well. And that will create a right here. I'll go right here. On the outsides and the insides. Just to make sure no one gets hurt by these. So on the outside right here. And then here.
Why do you not want to select everything at once?
So I don't want to select the inside hole right here. I don't want to make the battery holder any other fillet. But everything else we can do different.
Why did you select? Why do you have 2 things with 4 edges?
So the first one I want to show you what the preview was. When you first click on say the 4 edges on the outside, and then you press the dimension in there, it's gonna lock it, so you can't like do it. I just want to show you guys like what the preview looks like. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So. So here, I just did was, let me cancel this real quick. So back to the first one again. So fillet, you just select on whichever ones you want. So we're gonna go around and basically click on all 4 pillars, all 4 edges of the pillars, right? So this first one, and then you go to the second one, and then this third one right here. Bless you.
Do you want just the outer edges, not the inner ones?
Yeah.
If you're wondering how to do this automatically, generally you can't.
Generally you can't.
If you select the entire face, it will put a fillet on every
Oh.
single right corner.
it's gonna end everything. Okay, we're also gonna put at the top corner right here as well. So also put those 4 corners on top. And then
Yeah.
okay, and then again type in our number 0.125 and then see how it looks. If this is not, it doesn't look like 0.125, we can add some more. Let's make it 0.25 and see how. Oops, it's too stupid. So okay, so 0.175 seems to be the magic number. So
If you select the wrong one, instead of like, that one.
you click on that one again, and it should undo it. It should deselect it. If it doesn't, then you have to redo the entire thing. Right, but the fillet is 0.175. Right, on all of them. So I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put the fillet number, the fillet radius, fillet radius is 0.175 inches for all the fillets.
Oh, did we not allow the work?
Yeah, the battery one we're not gonna do.
Because you have a hurry if it's not really 0.5. And it's on top of the more. Is it 0.175?
Yeah, 0.175. So 0.125 is my usual test fillet.
Is that inches or millimeters?
Inches.
Yeah, those seem mine seem huge. Let's go, okay.
Okay.
Maybe you know that. I don't want that, but I'll say it. And go ahead and put the thread as a whole. That's it. If I turn on my shaded, it's good. We are able to put this. Josh, how deep is the hole?
How deep is this hole?
The screws.
4 millimeters. Oh yeah, 4 millimeters. So if I open up
Box.
this one. Oops, that's okay. So you see, I'll put that just visible. They can see how big each one is. It's pretty big. Let's say. Because basically we want is a circle, or almost cylinder all the time.
You stop that.
And just like that, we've created basic the basic space that we use for our product laptop. Now we can also add a little more. If you want to be more fancier, you can always import an image, let's say of the Hyperloop logo, and trace out the Hyperloop logo. Yeah, to make the Hyperloop logo coming on this.
Actually, no, I use it. Yes, I cheated.
You cheated. Okay, I don't cheat. I actually traced this out manually.
No, I traced that manually, but then it's in a TXF file, so I can like replicate it.
Oh, okay. The first time you did it with
The
this.
first time it took me like an hour.
Yeah. So we're not gonna spend an hour doing the Hyperloop logo, but you can. If you want to see it, I'll do it. I'm gonna click on it right now.
2.35.
But
Okay.
yeah. Yes.
When I tried to,
You're gonna go ahead and get rid of the
stability,
Yeah.
I put 0.175 inches.
Alright, so then you scroll. It's gonna be all there, the full part.
Right here?
There's no fact. Go ahead and select this. There's a bolt for this point.
Oh, let me do two.
There you go.
Okay.
Go there.
Right here?
You got it. We're getting, we're still getting, and go ahead and go to cube. There you go.
I don't think it's go back.
Yeah. We're gonna select when.
This one?
There you go.
From each side.
Anyone need help? Everyone good?
There you go. Say it's. Yes.
Now that.
Now the just curving all the edges. It's this two right here. And I'm just gonna leave you.
Sketch.
Okay.
So if you select the edge, what's there? Place, yeah, and then you just drag the arrow.
Back
This
here.
arrow, drag it in and outwards.
Oh, okay, no, not much.
Yeah,
Oh, not much, because that's
Yeah, so I'll link you to it. Now that one you can do it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, so, okay, so, things here, you click on this one, see if this, all right here, you got this one, all right. Okay. So, you don't, you must, right click. Your size is 4, and so, change. Here.
No, and then you go through the tops and bottoms and then you get the side ones, and then you gotta remember to use these other ones on the top. And then inside edge. Each of the pillars. I think if you want to keep adding one more. So you gotta set it back down to 0.
I think the people that seems to like. Oh, you press everything except for the technical logo, that's simply like hours of trade, but.
Oh my
That's
god,
in the box.
that is.
What?
You only got through like the box, I mean, you're dead.
Did it leave?
But it's all got through.
Oh, it's 8. Oh, it's 8. Yeah. Alright, we're good, we're good. Let's take this is the end of this workshop for now. If you want to make anything else, yeah.
I just,
Okay.
The edges?
the edges like first,
Alright, that's in the fillet. So let's see.
so this one is like, you go to the edge, right?
See, you go,
So,
no, not recall, do it fillet.
oh,
So here, now I'm gonna put on every single edge that you want.
like this one,
Not that, one. No, no. I'm gonna do the side. Vertical.
this one, oh, this, oh, right, right. That one,
And it's like all of them, so. If you look at this one in here. I chose,
I have to do number.
There's only one.
yeah, I have to go around and find all of them, but I think these 4 corners is like, and then
A little bit.
each of these have 4 corners as well, but in there, they're thing going, so, like.
All right, but then this room, I'm coming up like a plan. Yeah, yes. So if I were to like theoretically go to like 3D printer print this,
Yeah.
would this even be able to be printed? Because it's got all of this all over it, yeah, over it.
So, it's, yeah, because we, how we made it, right? So, what we did was, in the selecting software. I can pull it up right now, to show you. So let's say I want to save this, right? Let's first save this one. So file, export this one. And I'll export this as an OBJ or STL or 3MF. We have 3, we'll choose STL for this one. All right.
Oh, sorry, you
Yeah, but okay, with Fusion, you have to be kind of the cloud or else it won't work. So, or let me first save this one. All right, so we'll do Blinky Learner. Yes. And I'll put it in my generic file. Okay. Now it's saved. File, export.
as an STL. And then it's gonna export this one. And you'll see download. And so there's like multiple, if you have a 3D printer at home, like does anyone here have a 3D printer at home? No? Okay, so when you do get a 3D printer, you wanna get a slicing software. So I'll show you now, it'll basically convert your 3D mesh, like your solid object that it is, into layers that you'll see the 3D printer kind of like stacked up on top of each other. It's kind of like it's drawing from the ground up, right? So one of the free slicers out there is called Cura, which you can see right here. But the one that I use is paid one time, but it's pretty good. You can do multiple like cool things with it too. So it's kind of a little more advanced than Cura, but Cura has some things as well that it doesn't. So I use kind of both depending on what I want to do. So I'll show you that one as well. That's called Simplify. So the STL file is complete. So now we can export it out. That's my previous design. So we have Cura here, and then we have Simplify here. We can import the STL just by dropping it in. So if you just do say blinking case, and you see it's right there, you know, and it's all its glory. How do you think you'd want to print this one out? You want a nice flat base, first of all. That's your first key component. You want to make sure that your 3D model has a nice flat layer to print on. Sorry, let's go to the bed. Okay, so do you think this is already good enough? Do you want to use a different side? This bottom side is
the best side.
best side, right? Yeah. So I would choose this side as well. The problem with this one is though, there's the battery case, like the battery goes, it has a little overhang in there as well. But that all can be changed with supports. So on this one right here, I can just go down here to supports and then generate automatic supports. So all these right here are a little support material. If I were to remove this everything, right, and prepare it as it is with no supports, you can see that this okay. You see the layers, how it prints it out, right? That's without any supports. That's like assuming your printer can do really good. But if I put supports and then for the print, now you'll have support material that it can go on. And the support material is usually less dense than your actual infill or your actual plastic, so that you can take it off really easily. And it'll kind of build on top like that.
Yeah, you just like pop it out.
Yeah, there are these pliers. Yeah.
Simplify 3D is a different software, right?
Yeah, so Simplify is the paid one. You pay on $200 or so, but get it for free, well, or life, not free. But it has really cool things where like you can do different densities of infills for different layers. So you can tell the printer to like stop at this layer and change the shape of the infill or how dense it is. So if you want like a different density for different parts, so you want a stronger piece for something else or like a base, you can do that with this one. Whereas in Cura, which is free, you can download that one easily. And it's also pretty intuitive as well. You have all your settings on the side. If I were to say import, same one here, it's right there again. Yeah.
And you need one of these two softwares in order to print the 3D printer.
Yeah.
And just do it straight out of that, right?
No, because this one will your part. It'll not only will it print the layers, it'll adapt to your printer settings. It has your printer's dimensions, what kind of filament you're using, what your temperatures are. You gotta set all of that up, your machine settings. So a lot of settings have to go into this. Let's say if you go up right here, you see my managed printers, machine settings. You'll see there's also some code that already is like in edit that I have edited for my printer, so that it kind of beeps when it's like done printing. So and there's like different like the width and height of my printer, all the extruder, all the
Do you have
multipliers.
to enter all this manually in here, or do you already have like a list of existing printers?
You have a list of existing printers, and with their default settings, you might have to play along on some of them.
What's with the printer?
Read, because somebody like it was a refurbished printer from a company that didn't want it anymore. So they told me if I build it or if I fix it up, I can keep it. So I fixed it up and I kept it. But the printer goes around like around about $150 to $300 around there. but like it's pretty good for an entry level printer. I do want to upgrade, but like I printed for like a bunch of other printers as well, which are better than that one. But I mean, it gets job done. So
Does this, material also have the automatic support
Yes.
structures as well?
yeah, so that's like down here in support. So here's really cool with tree supports that Simple doesn't have. Tree supports look like, so if I were to say, go back here and slice this one. I learned it myself. Yeah. But I mean, it's pretty cool once you know. I do want to learn like resin printing because that's also really cool. Has a different like materials as well you can work with. But yeah, so right here in this one, the tree supports are like little trees that can branch out. So they start off on the sides and outside, let's say right here, and then they'll kind of branch in and out to give that support. Yeah, yeah, and so this is based on a different like you see it's really dense, I believe. Yeah, you can change settings to print it faster, but you also sacrifice quality. You'll sacrifice how strong it is. There's a lot of balancing you have to do with the print you have. Yeah, there are like $1,000 printers that can like work at 500 millimeters per second, crazy fast, and crazy accurate because of AI and everything. But a lot of there $1,000 and up. But the ones that I use are like our hobby printers, so I can upgrade them to something. I can do some tinkering my own. I could actually recode it. I actually have like firmware I can reprogram if I wanted to. So you can do a lot of things with like the hobby printers. But yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
How many hours is wow.
Yeah. But like if you look at my settings for my simplify right here, right? If I would say redo this one right now, it'll give me it has different settings on it. So it'll be it's like 12 hours on this one, on up here. So yeah, so 12 hours on this one, then 9 hours. We have this one costs about $3 to print. This one costs about $5 to print. So there's some differences.
Yeah, because there's more material in the tree structures than there is in the other one.
Yeah. But since the other one is triangular all the way through, it's gonna cost maybe a longer time. But yeah, so a lot of things you gotta like figure out like different things. This one,
Easier to remove these tree structures.
yeah, they also have pretty good support material too. Yeah, we're basically done.
What's the?
I'm gonna stop it.
The edges, how many